Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to announce this episode of the podcast. We have been talking about making this happen for a very long time. He flew into LAX today, picked him up. My boy Jake Shore is on the motherfucking podcast today, guys. Episode number 26 with the one and only Jake Shore. I'm so excited that you're here.
What's up, baby?
Dude, we've been waiting so long to do this.
Yes,
oh my
man.
God.
Yo, the Funky Fresh is back in the flesh with a vengeance, home.
Come on,
We
son.
got my cocoa. We're feeling Gucci. Everybody knows what's going on. And if you don't like these hats, well, we gotta check in. Check in.
I got to check in
Check in because,
because we like them.
yeah, we like them.
Damn
And that's all
right.
that matters. I think that's going to be the whole theme of this podcast.
Is that we like it.
We like it. Bam, bam, bam. That's been my... You watch Theo Von. Love him. Shout out to Theo Von.
Theo Von is not human.
And fuck Peloton.
Peloton?
Yeah, I'm coming out the gates hard right now.
On Peloton. We're canceling Peloton?
Yeah, dude.
You're not Peloton
I don't
in
like
it, or?
them. I don't like them right now.
Got you. Why?
Remember what we talked about? It's either they're in or they're out. Either we like it or we don't.
We don't. That's it.
They're
That's
out.
the theme of the podcast, so
We'll
we
bring
have
it
to
back.
stick to
We'll
it.
bring it back. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to jump into the cancellation process right now. Dude, we got the coffee though. Thank God.
Yeah,
That
needed
flight
it.
in was.
Yeah, just came from San Fran. Just
San Fran,
Just
yeah.
played at Temple in San Fran.
Yeah, it was a vibe. The
Dude.
place is a spaceship.
Is it really? I've only seen pictures of the venue via Instagram.
Yeah, they have more LEDs than I feel like security there. Yeah, think about that. So it gets dangerous.
Damn.
Yeah.
It gets hectic.
It gets
you could
hectic.
Say.
Some would
let's
say.
See.
Some
Come
would say.
on
Wow,
now.
you're too
Come
good with it,
on
bro.
now.
Yeah, man. And so San Fran was vibe. I got to stay there an extra day with my lady. She doesn't travel on the road with me too much, but when she does, I try and make it a little special. Of
course,
So we stayed in San Fran for a day. We, did the touristy things.
Yep.
Went to the Full House, which was pretty cool.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Gotta
do
do
it, right? Everywhere you look.
Have to.
You know what I mean?
That's so sick that you
Have
got
mercy.
to see that.
Uncle Jesse wasn't there.
Unfortunately.
But it's okay, But yeah, no, man, it was good. And then prior to that, I was in Madison, Wisconsin.
yeah, dude.
It's been rocking and rolling.
Yeah, you've been all over the place, dude.
Yeah.
Because
What a vibe.
what a vibe. For to give you guys context, last time I saw Jake was North Coast 2 years ago.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe that was 2 years ago
Right,
already.
2 summers, yeah. And I was
2
DJing
summers.
a local slot. I was still in Chicago
At that
the time.
fire tank.
Fire Dome or
Yeah, the
something.
Fire Dome.
Yeah, and it was fire.
Yeah, that shit was bumping. Not gonna lie, that set was killer, dude.
That was a landmark moment, I think, for me, man. I mean,
sure.
it was first festival I truly got to play in my own city.
Yeah.
Recognized as a local at that point, which was awesome. But the set was just jam packed, and I felt like that was a turning point. I feel like that
sure.
right there was like solidified for me. Like this is real.
For sure.
Um,
yeah.
It also helped that my 80-year-old grandfather was in the crowd and was just crushing it. So
It was
you know,
epic.
So for that being the reason that it was so cool, yeah, that was just one of many. But also, I got to meet you in real life. I mean,
Yeah,
up until
I
that
know.
point, we were kind of doing this whole
Just little tweeters, Facebook friend type
yeah,
shit, you know?
yeah. We were doing like the TikTok stuff
Yeah.
for North Coast. It's kind of like how we got. I don't even know how we got introduced to Formula. Somebody I think put me on to you.
I think the Sweet 52
Yeah.
boys.
Yes, and they're out of Boston.
Yeah, they're
I
out of
think.
Boston,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
told you to contact me, and that's how.
How funny is
yeah,
that?
and that's how we
Wild,
met.
wild.
Yeah,
And things have definitely taken a turn
for sure. I was just gonna ask you.
for the better.
Yeah, since the last time I saw you,
Yeah,
shit
man.
has exponentially gone
Yeah.
through the
We,
roof.
we hit the
for
trampoline.
dude.
You know when like you're on a trampoline, 2 people and one person like jumps at the same time and the other person just I felt like somebody did that for me.
100%,
And
100%.
It's been amazing. And we were kind of talking about this on the ride to here as he picked me up from the airport. I'm just in a spot right now where I'm just enjoying the ride, dude.
Have to,
I
dude.
think and I think everything I talk about with music wise and like what I'm experiencing, I really always like to bring it back that you can apply that to anything, anybody, any profession. And what I mean by like enjoying the ride, just stopping and smelling the roses, like recognizing where I was when I met you and what I'm doing now and how far it's come and
For sure.
the lessons I've learned, the failures that I've had, all that stuff. But really taking it all in
Yeah.
and not getting too caught up in like, all the, I don't know, all the things that don't matter. Like I feel
'Cause
like
I feel like there's a lot of that,
there's
especially
a lot of shit that doesn't matter.
yeah,
I think at the
especially
end
within the route that you're in right now
Yeah.
and the trajectory. Like,
Yeah.
to be able to separate what's real, what matters, and what doesn't.
Yeah, all that.
could be difficult.
all that. I think for me, we talked about this as well.
Yeah.
This is what matters.
100%.
Being able to talk to people, to have dialogue, to just like
Crucial.
vibe out is so important for me still, no matter who I'm. And it's getting a little trickier, right? Because for the first time in my life, especially recently, I've been, honored to work with, be in contact with, and just be in the same circles as some of the artists that I've looked up to for the past 3, 4, 5 years. And I'm working with them now, or I'm just in contact with them, and
Crazy shit.
yeah, it's
man.
crazy. It almost it's like I said, why I say it's tricky is because you try and decipher. You don't want to like lead with emotion or like make decisions with emotion or get excited because this is so and so I got to do. Remember where you started. Remember where you came from. Like always understand that there's like a bigger picture, but
For sure.
At the same time, it's also really fucking cool.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
I get to, that I get to like work and hang out with. Like I said, some of these DJs and artists that I've been downloading their music for years, I've been looking up to for years, and man, the respect is just mutual. It's been great. In that sense,
Absolutely.
too, so.
No, and I have a question because I know that we had talked about it, and I feel like this is super common as everybody wants to have you on a show and talk about your music career and the trajectory and everything that you've done. And obviously, since the last time that I saw you, you've gone viral on TikTok. You've had thousands upon thousands or hundreds of thousands of videos using your songs. Hectic, and these songs that you've had have hit 1 million+ streams. And you've been on Diplo's Revolution, and you're hanging out with these other big artists and working with them, they're playing out your tunes.
Are
and
you flirting with me right now?
I might be.
I'm
honestly.
kind of turned on.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
dude.
Keep
No,
going.
Kimmy, I'm sorry, but
Watch out, girl.
watch out.
Um,
No, but those are some notable accolades that has happened in the growth of those, basically the 2 years since I've seen you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I kind of want to talk about more of the real life and kind of personal journey that entails. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Set aside from the music and the monetary
Yeah.
accolades per se, and then how have you changed or developed or realized about yourself or the people around you or your career or how you want your career to go as in the future now that you've had these real tastes of success?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down to get into all that. I think it's honestly a breath of fresh air that you mentioned that, just because. I mean, I knew coming into this that this was just going to be a conversation. Two bros being guys.
Always
and
is.
I don't ever want it to feel like an interview, especially not between us.
Yeah, never.
But I also understand, this is more of a lifestyle podcast versus other things. You know what I mean? So
it's just real.
just keeping it real.
Yeah, just a real talk.
Keeping it a buck.
Always keeping it a
You
buck.
think I don't keep it real with this fucking hat on?
Come
right
on.
now? I feel like should I keep these on or?
That's up to you, brother.
I feel like I should. Yeah, I should keep them on. This says I'm having fun.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Or something's in this coffee.
Could be both. Could be
A
both.
little bit of both. No, man. Yeah, the whole thing has really, it's ebbs and flows as far as me developing as a person through it all too. Like I think what I've learned, one of the biggest things I've learned is people only can judge you or like they only see what you give them on social media at this point, you know, at a mass level. I mean, obviously there's people in my life that see more of the day-to-day stuff, but that's kind of formed my position on what I put out.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this earlier as well. We had a lot of talks before we jumped on.
Yes,
as
we
usual. Did. Looking at my brand or my platform as a whole and always thinking about what am I not telling with my picture right now? Like what am I giving people to go off of, and then what's maybe missing that they need that to kind of paint the whole picture.
Got you.
So for me, jumping on podcasts and talking to people and being myself and getting some more real stuff off my chest so that people can get to know who I actually am outside of just the music, the dancing, the goofy TikToks and shit like that. Also, I think for me personally, I've also realized that maybe certain people might look at my content and just assume, oh, he's just really good at content and he's like found this lane and he's riding it. He doesn't really DJ or he doesn't really make music. And I know the truth behind that.
Of course.
But again, people can only go off of what you show them. And one thing that was missing most recently in the past 3 to 6 months on my content was me taking them inside my process, showing them what a studio session looks like, showing them what my face looks like when I get that moment in a session where I make something dope. So if you look back at my
the real relatable aspects.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you
totally.
look back at my content recently, I've tried to implement that so much more. The screen recordings of the Ableton DAW and my reaction with the thumbnails, taking you inside the studio, and that has paid dividends. Like
Absolutely.
I said, I feel like consequently now some of those artists, producers that maybe didn't consider me as like a full artist and just this content guy are seeing the side that they needed to see to like really be like, wait, he's that good at content and he also makes music. Like he gets it. He actually does do his own, because I'm putting it out at such a rapid rate. You can't sit there and say that I don't make my own music.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like a ghost producer doesn't work that fast. And if he does,
pay him more.
Yeah, pay him more or something, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's just one aspect of it. You know, I think it's been such a learning process.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what this first tour of mine has like really put into perspective, that it's been about learning. It's been, I don't have it all figured out. Like I remember I did my first sound check. I think it was it was Temple, Denver, actually. I did like my first real sound check. Like I had never done a sound check before. I was playing in places you just pull up and
plug
play.
in.
Like whatever you got, buddy. Deal with it. Fucking CO2's blowing in my face and shit, or no CO2 at all. It's
just press the button and just air comes out.
Yeah, no, it's just some guy in the crowd like smoking a cig. Yeah. That was what I was used to, brother.
Oh my God.
But you know, I did my first sound check and like I didn't even know what to check.
Yeah.
Right. And so the show later on like didn't have all the bells and whistles, and I realized like that actually affects what people see. But it comes back to me. So that was a learning experience. I had a show. I don't really want to put this one name and location out there, but I had a couple shows on this first run with that. There was nobody there. There was nobody there. And, you know, I think I learned the hard way with that. I took it very personally and almost kind of went negatively inward and was like, damn, is there something wrong with me? Like, what am I not doing?
Am I not as good at this as I thought I was, type thing?
You know what I mean? Like, man, and that was a tough one to learn through. But I think now that I'm on the second half of my first tour, I have just like, back to what we were talking, just enjoying the build.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the rise of whatever this is or whatever this becomes. I'm just loving every moment of it, man.
Yeah,
like I got to remember first of all, the fact that I'm going to different cities almost every weekend and just playing music. And even though I'm not like selling a mass amount of tickets right now, it is pretty sweet. There's always like a pocket of people that are truly damn near there to see me. And they're there for me, which is like wild. And I got to remember like how dope that is. I used to play freaking 5-hour sets in Wrigleyville in Chicago for $50 an hour and like a bucket of beer. Shout out Stretch in Wrigleyville, by the way. That was the place I played that.
Hell yeah.
I love that too. You know what I mean? I got to remember like that's where I came from. There's no shame in that game. I think another big thing is I work with a lot of artists too, consult with them on their social medias as well.
Oh, gotcha.
I think that's a big part of my thing. I like giving back. I like helping. I like educating. I was a former teacher.
Dude.
Right?
Yes.
So it's in my blood. I taught.
But I say that all the time,
Yeah,
dude.
it's huge.
Is the giving back aspect.
You have to.
I can't even. You guys could go back and listen to any episode of this podcast, and that has been said every episode.
It's so huge, man.
If you have the opportunity to return the favor to your audience, that needs to be almost priority number one, because that's how you're going to number one retain that audience, build that relationship with that audience, and then bring in more people.
100%.
Because then other people can vouch by what they're consuming or what you're giving them. That this is real. You know, I'm really loving what he's doing, everything he's about, and the stuff that he's putting out, and really engaging with the fans. And when you see him live, he's this and that is such a crucial aspect. Music career-wise, but just career-wise, life-wise.
Everything we talk about here can be paralleled with real life, anybody else's situation. And so, like I said, what I'm, in the giving back and in the educating, something I also learned when I was a teacher, when you're educating somebody or you're helping somebody out, you actually learn too, in reverse. And so while I'm working with a lot of these artists, a lot of the things I'm advising them are like concepts, because it's really mainly like mindset more than actual like execution.
Yeah.
With social media for me and working with artists. And so many of the things I tell them, I'm like, damn, I need to practice that myself.
Yeah.
I have an artist I work with and I'm like, dude, you got to remember how many people, how many other artists are starving to have the opportunities that you have. Stop worrying about where you're at and why you're not where somebody else is, and remember that there are hundreds of thousands of artists that would be dying to go travel and play music.
Yeah.
So like that's
or get 500 streams on a song even,
exactly.
like just any.
Exactly. So
anything.
I have to remember that too.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I have to remember that too. And I think something that we're both have complimented each other on is the awareness of that, because some people just don't even have the awareness of when they're missing the mark, or when they're maybe doing something wrong, or when they need to get better, or where they need to seek feedback. And those are all things that I learned as a teacher.
Yeah.
Probably learned it, engulfed it with my upbringing in childhood, but like being a teacher is so much about, especially when you're getting evaluated, how did the lesson go? What went well, what didn't go well, and what can you do to be better for the next time? Because you have a bad lesson as a teacher, you're just not there. You're not quitting. You're not their teacher. You have a whole nother year and thousands of lessons to teach. So you got to build off of that. It's a lot of reflection. It's a lot of introverted thinking, and
a lot of applicable skills.
You apply that to everything.
Absolutely.
And it's been such a blessing. I find myself time and time again, things that I learned as an educator in the setting that I learned in, I apply to my everyday, my profession right now. A big one's collaboration too, and like going back to like working with other people and seeing where other people are doing things and like, yo, how can we work together on this?
Yeah.
I know this is something that you love to do.
For sure.
I would have came and hung out with you either way, but I think why not? Let's get on the mic and have that
talk.
Conversation, publicize this conversation.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us later. But yeah, man. So I think, that's kind of a loaded question that you're asking, because I think there's so much.
I tend to do that. I'm sorry.
No, I tend to ramble. So give me like one of those or something if you need me to shut up. And no, I think these.
You can't do me a favor though. That red light is on, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it is.
I do that all the time. I'm so excited to fucking start an episode, and I'm always
You're not
sitting
even
here. I'm
recording?
like, dude, did I fucking press record?
Yeah, we're
I've done it the
recording
past like 3 episodes. I just had to double
that
check.
button's on, and then that red button's on. We're good, people. We're not amateurs.
We're not amateurs.
Don't let the hats fool you. No, man, I think a lot of these tidbits and nuggets will come out too in natural conversation.
Yeah.
I'm really good at like bringing that back always too. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah, please hit me.
Yeah, something that you said a little bit ago in this conversation that we're having, but as kind of as everything's been happening over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
You said something that, again, we kind of briefly touched on in the car, but was really being yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it sounds so cliche, but it does. It sounds so cliche, and like everybody has heard it 500,000 times.
I think I piss people off when I say it.
Yeah, you know.
Like, oh, that's it? Just be yourself?
Be yourself? Great. Thanks, buddy. Great advice. Have never heard that one before.
I think I've seen that on a shirt at the airport. Okay.
But no, I get what you're saying, but I think it's almost an a truly undermined aspect of just the whole process and how important it really is of being yourself. And I think this could tie into also kind of what we touched on in the car, is just in the direction of where maybe your music career, someone else that's watching or listening, their music career or their endeavors, is being yourself in the way of realizing that sometimes the plan or the dream or whatever you thought it is, maybe that might not be for you.
Yeah.
And being aware of like, okay, I know that this is who I am, and maybe that's not what I should be doing for the type of person that I am, or what I enjoy or what I like, and not to force that or do things because you've been outside influenced by social media or people that you see or content you consume that makes you think that way. And keeping that core and true idea of like, no, this is who I am and this is the route that I want to go and I want to do is so crucial, dude.
It's everything.
So crucial.
It's everything.
Because you don't have to be, oh, I have to be this, or I have to be this, because that's what you think you should be.
You got to let yourself be the guiding light. And some of this, again, it's cliche. It's like abstract. It's like, what does that mean? Let yourself.
Yeah.
I think what I've learned, and it's always a learning process. It's ever changing too, because yourself 5 years ago may not be yourself today.
Absolutely.
And I know that for a fact. You know what I mean? I know that more than anybody.
I'm damn sure about that.
But I think for me, the core of what I do is what you see on social media, that is me.
Yeah.
I didn't start dancing because TikTok told us to dance. I've been dancing since I was a little kid. I watched hours and hours of Chris Brown videos, Michael Jackson videos, all those like Usher videos. I remember watching those religiously because I was copying the moves. My dad used to come home and turn on the 6 CD stereo, and we would play jock jams. We would play country like Garth Brooks. We would play all sorts of music. Like, that's in my blood, and that's me. That's who I am. I also feel like I truly do feel like I was put on this earth to connect with people, entertain people, and make a difference through that light, right?
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like right now, it looks like making music and DJing. Like, that's my way to connect with people in a performance way, or through, you know, the sound, etc. But that may change in 5 years. It maybe this DJ thing is actually a platform for the next chapter that I bring into. But for anybody that's kind of struggling right now with that idea of being yourself, it's got to start from within here. You got to really ask yourself some pretty introspective questions, like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because this is what we're supposed to do, or this is what the blueprint has been said so far? Like, a DJ has to do this. Maybe that's not your true calling. If you feel like you're forcing it, that's another rule of thumb. If it feels forced,
stop.
Yeah, it's not really, and it doesn't mean you still can't obtain a dream, but it may not look what you initially thought or what you've been told it should look like. There's a million different ways to make a lot of money in this music industry. You don't have to do the touring DJ, rock star, you know, wearing cowboy hats on fucking podcast way of doing it. And like I said, that dream of mine may change. And also, that dream is only obtained by a very small percentage of people, which is tricky too, which, you know, that puts a lot of pressure on myself because I'm trying to obtain the unthinkable in that sense. But,
absolutely,
you know, I feel good about where I'm at with that. I honestly can say that I feel like I'm not forcing it. I feel like
it's natural. It's
very natural. And so at the end of the day, like I said, it's got to come from within here.
Yeah, totally.
It's got to be really rooted in who you are. And once it starts to feel forced, that's where you got to, like, I don't think you need to stop maybe, but you definitely need to just stop and think. You need to stop and reflect on, like,
it's a better way to
what
put
are
it.
your goals, short-term, mid-term, long-term? Where do you see this going? And also, what if those goals don't pan out? Do you have something else that can get you?
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of different ways to get to where you want to go. And like I said, you know, a perfect example, I'm a big WWE fan, The Rock. The Rock started out playing football. He was not...
in Miami.
In Miami, was a football player. I just heard his podcast on Joe Rogan, so he talked about this.
I literally just watched it too.
It's amazing. And how it went from, like, that initial dream he realized was not panning out. And then, you know, he has a lineage of wrestlers. His dad was a legendary wrestler. And so went to his dad and told him, okay, I'm gonna try this wrestling thing. And funny enough, his dad was like, are you crazy? Like, no, you're not doing that. But, you know, they gave him a shot, and he became who he became, which was one of the biggest factors that revolutionized what we came to know as the Attitude Era, and so on and so forth. The most electrifying man, right?
Yeah, totally.
But then he took that and took it one step further and became this larger-than-life movie star. And now I would even say he's almost past that movie star.
He's into an icon now.
He's just like...
He's like a social icon.
I don't even know what he is.
Yeah, you know.
But
he's a mogul.
That's what I'm saying. He's like
kind of like P. Diddy.
He's created his own lane. Oh, we'll talk about Diddy. Yeah, he's like in his own lane. But again, that's a prime example of how that original dream of what you think it has to look like can take on so many forms.
For sure.
But I can guarantee you, the entire time he's led with this. He has led with what's in his heart, what he knows he's like meant to do and meant to be.
For sure.
And I think it goes. That's the idea that we're talking about. Here, right?
and just like I've always felt this way too. Is just kind of like to finish up on this topic. Is I think it's a skill that you actually can obtain. To be able to have those conversations with yourself and be real about your life and what it is that you want to do or where you need to do. And I've always said this, and I will forever feel this way, is people will never get to that point if they have never actually truly spent time with themselves,
Yeah.
and they don't know who they are. If
100%.
if you haven't done that introspective dive and figured out what makes you tick and what it is and who you are, those skills of being able to adjust, adapt, write a new trajectory to get a level of success that might be different from the form of success that you originally thought,
Yeah.
but now you've adjusted and adapted to go to this new lane in this new way of success that actually fits in better with the type of person that you are and could be just an overall better outcome for you in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always felt that
there's
way.
so many people.
I've
It's funny.
always
There's so many
felt that
people
way.
that haven't done that.
Oh
I can
my God. Oh my God.
almost, to be honest with you, I can almost meet a person for 5 minutes and I'll tell you right now if they've ever done any type of meditation, if they've ever done any type of introspective thinking
Absolutely.
or reflection.
Absolutely.
Or like meditation. I can almost tell you within 5 minutes of talking to somebody if they've ever done that. I also, you see, and there's nothing wrong with this, right? What I'm trying to do with my life is very different than what the average person is doing with their life,
Totally.
right? Okay, and I get that. But I also but that again separates me and makes that's why I knew I don't want to go do the standard 9 to 5, what the college career, your college trajectory says to go do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it. I went to University of Illinois for 4 years. I got my bachelor's degree. Hell, I taught for 8 years before I finally got the gall to be like, oh, this isn't really for me.
Yeah.
And for anybody who did go that route, awesome. And I hope
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and I hope you're happy. And I hope you've taken the time to really be introspective and think about what you want for your life. And if you're doing it in the spot that you're at and you went a little bit more traditional route, that's awesome. I'm not knocking that at all. But I just feel like there is so many people who kind of just, and to no fault of their own, we got kind of brainwashed into thinking well, yeah, you go to college, you get that,
They just ride the wave.
you pay, you take out all these loans, you go and get that job that you can barely pay the loans back and barely pay rent, and this is how you do it. That just wasn't for me, man. And I just feel like there's so many people who are still doing the same shit that they were doing 10 years ago, and it kills me. But at the same time,
there's only so much that you can do.
I've done a lot of work on myself to have some realizations and some aha moments in the past 4 or 5 years that were like, I can see where this is going. I'm going to be doing the same shit for the next 5 years if I don't make some choices.
Yeah.
And I think, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I am by no means a genius or, I don't come from money. So I hope that I'm leading by example in some way, shape, or form.
For
I
sure.
can help
And
some people out. You know what I mean?
And you
That
are,
way.
for sure. You 100% are leading by example, and that's the only way that you can lead when you're in a position like you're in. Is just lead by example.
Yeah, 100%.
Because talk is cheap,
It is, yeah.
So talk is
really cheap.
Talk
bro.
is cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap, and the freaking economy's up right now.
Come on, son.
Yeah, so
Talk is cheap.
you got to get on
Economy's
that
up.
shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's switch gears though a little bit here, man.
Hey, shoot.
I feel like we're getting deep, which is fine. But I don't really want to get too deep. I want to keep it a little bit light for the next however long the fuck we're on here. But what should we talk about? I mean, we have these hats on. That's what I'm saying. We can't get too deep, right? We're wilding.
And
right now.
how serious could you take someone in a frog hat and a cowboy hat with headphones on backwards?
I don't think that's serious. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Where do we go from here, though?
Where do you want to go?
Well,
Oh, he knows. You know. You want to ask, or you know.
what are we? What are we thinking about?
I saw that look. I saw the
Yeah,
eyebrow raise
of
through your
course, of
glasses.
course.
That's why I was like, oh,
trying
he
to-
knows where he wants to
Trying to think
go.
what's hot right now? What can we get
Ooh,
into?
what's hot?
Yeah, what can we get into? You got something?
I don't know. I just think it's crazy, all this AI shit.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
This AI
Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Dude.
Yesterday I'm in San Francisco, and we're walking around, and every so often I see these this white car, and it's got like a bunch of gadgets on it, and the top and the wind. And I look deeper into the car, and I'm like, babe, she's like, what? It's like,
there's no one in it.
there's nobody in that car, and it's making left-hand turns. It's like it's stopping. I'm like, then I saw another one, and I saw another one, and I'm like, yo, we're here.
Yeah.
It's not happening or gonna happen. We're here. There is unmanned, unwomaned, unpersoned people. You gotta watch out, right? cars now that are driving themselves.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
I might be aging myself, but that's wild to me. And I always think about things generationally because I think a lot of people don't think about how generational change happens.
Dude.
Cigarettes is one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Cigarettes, massive generational change. And what I mean by that is this new generation, Gen Z, whatever you want to call them.
Gen Z.
They're like, why would I do that? I mean, I guess they're vaping still, right? But I haven't seen a pack of cigarettes in so long.
That's actually kind of a valid point.
Yeah.
I only see them like.
Yeah, but these kids aren't smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
And what makes me think about that too is like, so back to the cars.
They're doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, generationally, if babies that are born this year, right, while there are like these cars, these unpersoned cars are new, babies that are born this year, by the time they're 7, 8, 9, 10, those things might be all over the place. By the time they're 16, 17, so 17 years from now, kids that were born this year, if there's unpersoned cars, what are they called? Is that
autonomous? Autonomous.
I'm over here like trying to be politically correct. I'm not even being correct.
Autonomous vehicles. That's what it's called.
Automatic weapons.
Yeah.
Of mass destruction.
Total war.
Seduction.
Total devastation.
And road rage.
Yeah.
They're what the fuck was I saying? Oh, those kids are gonna. Why would they're gonna be like? Why would
we drive?
Why would I drive? You drive?
Yeah.
Loser.
Hey, Johnny over here drives.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, he still drives. Look at that old fart driving.
Yeah.
That's like, and people are like, oh, that's not.
No,
what?
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
And I think the same thing with alcohol. I don't want to dive too much into alcohol yet, but I think alcohol is also. People are like, there's no way we're not going to drink alcohol. Are you kidding me? Like I think just the way cigarettes has kind of gone away, I think there's a chance that alcohol, if the next generations decide, again, that's the point I'm making. It's not really up to us.
Yeah.
The generational change happens when the youth, whatever they grow up around. It's like the same idea with like iPads in school, man. Like last year I taught every kid had an iPad in my school.
Dude, I can't even tell you how much it bugs me. I go to a restaurant and there's literally a sub 3-year-old at the booth operating this piece of electronic equipment. Like he knows what it does.
He's ordering for his family on the iPad.
But he can't even make a sandwich. That math never has mathed for me.
It doesn't have to, though.
Do the children's brains now just are out the womb automatically more advanced technical? I don't even know how to
technologically.
There you go. Yeah, see an anemone.
We call them tech natives.
Oh,
they're tech natives is the proper like.
Really, there's a term for it.
Yeah, tech natives,
dude.
And
it's wild to me.
And like I said, so like, to us as the generation that we're in, which it's hard to like believe that we're kind of becoming like an older generation now. The math isn't mathing on that, but the math is different now, bro. That's the thing.
The equation is different.
The equation's different.
Yeah, it's so valid.
The skills that these kids need to have now isn't the same skills. And the worst part about it, though, is those skills that they need to have aren't in the curriculum.
And the
skills that we were, that's what the curriculum is so far behind. It's so freaking sad.
Yep.
My school that I worked at was like, it was pretty advanced. I mean, it was a great school.
Yeah.
And so we had like a digital citizenship type thing like built in every once a month. It wasn't like a class or like really built in, but it was a term. It was a thing, like teaching the kids how to be good digital citizens, meaning like,
like digital literacy kind of.
Yes, all of that. Gotcha. Avoiding cyberbullying, how to use tech appropriately, not putting your personal information out there, all sorts of different things that like are very valid for kids to learn right now because they're, like you said, 3-year-old on an iPad, they get a pop-up message, oh, put in your name and your address, Tommy.
Yeah, give me your social security card.
Who knows? And like if they're not taught that, it's almost more important now than, like you said, them being able to form a sentence because they come out, we're learning, the tech teaches them how to form a sentence before a teacher would almost now. It's crazy, bro.
It's perfect little segue into the tech shit last night. When I was finishing editing a podcast that I had last week and I was sitting there and I was like, classic. And I was like, I was reading my podcast bio and I was like, you know what? I need to update this shit.
Yeah.
I need a good description of what of what this show is.
Chat.
And I was like,
GPT. Chat
GPT.
Let's talk about what we use. What we use Chat GPT for. You're about to tell us. So you used it for your bio?
Yes, I used it for the podcast bio. I just kind of gave it like a good prompt of like, I was like, write me a podcast about young entrepreneurs.
A bio about
yeah,
your podcast.
Yeah, about young entrepreneurs or creatives. Hosted by a music producer, some other just like some keywords.
You prompted the fuck out of that
dude,
thing.
and it wrote me an absolutely unbelievable podcast description.
You're a prompter,
dude. Oh yeah, no, I like.
You have a nice prompt on you. Are you prompting me right now?
I got 2 prompts.
I'm gonna have to take a break.
Yep. I guess. Sorry, we'll be back.
Yo, so isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
no, it's crazy, dude.
And I think that's when
It's such a tool.
It's crazy.
It's such a tool.
Like, so I was again back San Francisco yesterday. Billboards everywhere. Every other billboard's AI something.
Thanks.
There's all these companies because it's the land of Silicon Valley, right? It's like tech heaven. They're way
advanced,
way ahead. Like all these companies that didn't even know existed. But ChatGPT is wild as hell. I personally haven't used it to its fullest advantage yet. I've done things like what you just said, like when I want to formulate something. I think that's like, again, generationally, that's like, oh, that makes sense. Like we could put something in and it can write something for us.
Perfect.
Like, dude, there is ways to use that thing that I haven't even thought of. Like I want to dive into it. I need to dive into it a little bit more because I feel like that is the game in the next 5 to 10 years. What can you automate for yourself?
Yep.
So that you're actually, and I don't look at it as like things automations that are doing things for me.
It's the process, though.
Well,
automate the process.
Like anything that's automated, I mean like something that's kind of working on its own
behind the scenes,
so that I don't have to focus my energy and time in. So like what I mean by that is like I don't want to necessarily set up automations in my life in lieu of me doing something. I want to think of it as like I'm 5xing my productivity.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like I'm still working on the stuff I'm working on, but I also have 6 other things working on it too.
But it's autonomously
it's like
working
now you're
on it.
6 people's worth of energy.
And I think that's the thing is you can have a team now being one person.
Yeah.
It's like
bizarre.
It's
so bizarre.
It's so, dude.
So I prompted chat. I'll talk.
You heard of this free AI thing? I think it's called like Synth Ripper.
No,
dude.
Oh, the music stuff's crazy,
dude.
Man.
One of my boys just sent me this the other day. It's a free AI website or plugin or however you want to
writing this down.
Dictate that. I think it's called like Synth Ripper or whatever. You can just plug in a song, any song, and tell it the sound or the part that you like, and it will recreate that sound immediately.
Whoa.
And then just give it to you in useful form. So like if you're like, oh, I want the exact sound from Inner Bloom on the bridge.
So technically,
I need
can you use that?
Technically, I guess you could.
Because you're not sampling it, you're creating a new one.
Exactly. It's being generated by this software.
You shouldn't have told me that.
You're all welcome.
I've kind of made a living off of that. So,
no, it's crazy,
no,
dude.
it sounds wild.
No, it's
we'll talk.
wild.
I want to talk about the music side of the AI too, but I think like even yesterday or a couple days ago, I did the same thing, and this is like something I think all creators or artists, anybody that's out there, it's a good reminder. I've been blessed to have like spurts of like followings come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like after a viral video or something. And what I failed to remember is that when somebody follows me that first time based on one video, like recently the Jack Harlow remix I did, they had no idea the other 5 times I went viral or what that was for. They had no idea I was a teacher at one point. They don't know my story. So I saw this.
You know my name, not my story, bro.
Yeah, they don't know my story, man. So
know my story.
What I did is I kind of I posted a story saying, here's, for all my new followers, thank you for, I'm happy that Algo brought us together. But this, this journey started well before you found me.
Facts.
And so here's a little bit about me. And I used ChatGPT for that. I said, can you, I wrote it out first and then I prompted ChatGPT, you are an editor for whatever, and I want you to make this bio more concise and, to the point. And it ripped it, did it, boom. I was like, dude, this is sick. Because way better than I could have ever written it. You know what I mean? So like for things like that, it sounds so simple. And I know there's like a vast amount of ways that I still need to learn how to use it. But that's how. I mean, we could go to the route of like God AI. I mean, I have my own thoughts about what the future holds with AI, but for right now, it's a tool. Use it, and you're going to make yourself. You're going to fall behind if you don't learn how to use it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I think that's what this whole game is how well can you keep up?
Mm-hmm. 100.
You know what I mean?
And I want to talk about that briefly a little bit more. I have to pee like an absolute racehorse.
Yeah, I'm
so
probably going to have to.
Yeah,
let's take a break.
Yeah,
real
let's
quick.
pause real quick.
Okay.
We'll be right back, guys. Oh, 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 it's magic.
Burn, burn,
You
burn.
know.
I've been saying that after everything. Like
Never believe it.
burn, burn, burn. Yo, let's go get some coffee. Burn, burn, burn.
Okay, so it's like a ad lib
Yeah.
after. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
fucking with it.
Oh my god, bro, we're headlining Coachella. Burn, burn, burn.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
I could get behind
That's
that.
cool, you know.
Maybe you should
Hey,
just.
hey, give me $50. Burn, burn, burn.
Oh.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's kind of hard.
That long hair don't cover up that red neck, boy.
Come on,
Bam, bam, bam.
Hey, that's how I learned. That's how I learned how to drive stick shift. Was on a John Deere tractor.
Okay.
Yeah.
For real?
Speed. Yeah. 4-speed John Deere tractor at my ranch in Paso Robles. That's how I learned how to drive stick.
That's kind of sick.
I did that, and then I got thrown inside of an actual life-size water truck when I worked for my grandfather doing.
You?
Oh yeah.
Your little water drop got thrown inside a water truck.
Let me tell you, this guy right here ain't very tall, and if you ever been inside of a water truck, that bitch is big. The seat is not adjustable. It's an air spring seat. It's one height, and the pedals are 9 yards from my feet. And
See, wait, this is what I mean. Water trucks are big. Bam,
bah,
bam,
bah.
bam. So,
Oh,
is
it
that
was
one
terrible.
of the craziest things vehicles you've ever been in?
Oh no. Well, as far as like operating, I used to
Yeah,
operate
operate.
heavy. Yeah, I used to operate heavy machinery. That's like what
Yeah.
I did.
I do every day.
Yeah.
And I was just looking
Bah,
at
bah, bah.
See what I mean? It's amazing.
I'm getting behind it, dude.
What's the wildest thing you've ever operated, machinery-wise, transportation-wise?
Oh my god. Dude, it would probably have to be like one of the big like D50 cat bulldozers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Dude.
You could fuck
I was
some shit up
I
with
was
that thing.
16 driving it when I used to do construction for my papa because my grandparents are in sand and gravel.
Wow.
They don't really do it as much anymore. It's more like land aggregation, real estate shit now. But they had a yard out in Corona that was just like a landfill mining, crushing rock, just down and dirty. I mean, I was out there 110-degree heat with a pickaxe, banging dirt out of the grates when the big semi trucks. Bah, bah, bah.
Like that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
something. You just said something hot, so let's.
Dude, yeah, I feel that. I think I just gained like a half inch at least. At least.
You chubbing a little bit.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, baby.
All right. Well, that's gonna be the fucking calling card of the episode.
That's
That's
gonna be on the podcast description. Just bum, bum,
yeah.
bum. Yeah.
That's wild.
No, yeah, it was honest. They're really sketchy to operate, but
Yeah.
they're really fun because it's like a real life toy.
Yeah,
There's just a
yeah.
joystick and you got two and you're operating here and just.
So I'd be willing to bet that like the craziest that type of like machinery transportation, like the crazier stuff or the stuff that you don't, they're all sketchy a little bit, right?
big
I mean,
time.
in a sense, driving
time,
a car
big
can
time.
be sketchy, right?
Yeah, especially if you don't know how to drive.
Yeah. Well, my Uber driver to the airport this morning, I got about 4 turn. She went like, "Oh, I'm sorry. She did like 3 times. Like, what do you mean you're sorry? And then she couldn't speak any other English,
Oh,
and I was like,
God.
where are we going?
Yeah.
Anyways, craziest thing I've driven.
Airport.
I got voted to drive. It was a group of 4 of us, actually a group of 8, but 4 to a car. We were out in Arizona. This was a couple years ago. Sorry. Jesus.
Let me clear my throat. God damn, son.
No. I had to drive I don't know why I was the driver. We did the off-road vehicles. The ATVs, not like the motorcycle
like the
ones,
Razors?
but yeah, like the 4-seater
Yeah,
ones,
yeah,
the
yeah.
dune buggy type thing.
Yeah.
And
Those things are sick.
we pull up to like a ATV off-road course basically, and it's like you're going through like massive hills and mountainous ranges out in Arizona.
Damn.
And you're signing up. You sign the waiver basically saying
If you die,
if you
not our
die,
fault.
it's not our fault. That's always That's when you know you're doing some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Only
Facts.
only white people do shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Funny enough, there was like a huge I think it was like a huge black bachelor party that came there,
And it was just-
and they were just whipping, and I was like, well, fuck. Anyways, I had to drive. It was hilarious. I had to drive there, drive the vehicle, and bro, there was some really sketchy moments. Like it's not like you're on a trail. You're on the edge of a massive cliff.
You're in the wilderness, dude.
and it's like you got to know to be in low gear, high gear. I don't know what the fuck. I'm from Chicago.
Drive.
I'm just driving and hoping people don't hit me. Hoping not to get caught by a red light camera. Fucking goddamn mayor.
They're everywhere. in
Yeah, dude.
Chicago.
There was a point. There was a point on the drive where it looked like it was going down, bro. And not only was it going down, but I'm killing 3 of my best friends. It was scary as shit. I got through it. Obviously, I'm here.
Yes.
Obviously. But yeah, that was probably one of the sketchier rides I've ever been on driving wise too.
Dude, those things are no joke. Like
Yeah.
they're super fun, but they are.
It wasn't that fun.
I flipped 3 of them.
I don't like fearing for my life. So it really. I know some people get off on that adrenaline, but like, yeah, that wasn't fun. That like felt like I got tricked into something. You know, and
You like drew the short stick, and
Yeah.
it was like, hey,
Yeah.
buddy, joke's on you.
well, again,
You're driving.
If it falls, it's not like there's a net down there to catch. It's not
No.
a roller coaster ride. You're fucked.
Oh yeah, no, you're fucked.
So yeah, that wasn't fun.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of those experiences. Almost lost my hand driving a 4x4. They called him a Rhino back in the day. It was
Rhino.
like Rhino, mate.
I have an alter ego named Rhino.
Rhino.
Yeah, Rhino.
Rhino, mate.
Yeah, you don't want to see him come out.
Whoa,
Yeah,
you hitting on me?
maybe, could be. Let's get out of here.
See you guys next week.
All right.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. Oh shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. Goddamn.
What was that?
Hit my funny bone, dude.
Oh.
Not funny though.
That was not fun. That is what's up with that? Let's talk about that. Why is it called the funny bone? Because anytime you hit it, it's actually
It's
the
not
opposite
funny.
of funny.
It's really not
it's
funny.
the worst feeling in the fucking
Yeah.
world.
It's like right there.
Not even a funny place.
No, it's not.
No, there's nothing
It's right
funny.
on your. It's right on your weenus.
Oh, I guess that's why it's funny.
Oh.
Maybe that's why. So you said that you almost lost your hand.
Yeah,
in a
Almost lost my arm.
Taipei
actually.
death match. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Type A Class C driver license only.
Do you know what a Taipei death match is?
No.
Taipei death match. So
Type A
No.
or Type A?
Taipei. I think is Taipei in Taiwan.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
we're talking about cultural.
Yeah. So the reason why I brought that up is one of my best friends, Kevin Cox from college, wild man. He's got hair
man.
down to here.
Oh.
He's jacked out, naturally jacked from Naperville, but like moved out to West Coast. I think he lives in Portland, Oregon. He's been out there.
It looks like he makes arrowheads for fun. type
Yeah,
shit.
he definitely walks around barefoot in the grocery store, and
He's earthing.
yeah, he's urban, and he it was really funny. In I think our junior year of college, he was I don't know where we were at, but he was hammered. He's gonna hate me for telling this story, but he was hammered, and sorry, bro. This is honestly one of your coolest stories that leads to an even cooler story. So let me get through it.
Yeah, right.
He is really drunk and decides to ride a bike back to his crib.
Okay.
Drinking and driving, still drinking and driving if you're riding a bike.
Yep. Still a DUI.
In case people don't know.
Even a skateboard.
Yeah. Rode, nobody was there. I guess we found this out through him, but rode the bike into a back of a parked car and went through the windshield, or the back windshield, and nicked his face. Luckily didn't die, first of all, but slashed his entire shoulder and has like the gnarliest bubble scar on his shoulder. Obviously he was okay. Well, he also lost his like front teeth and everything. So it was pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
It was gnarly.
Damn.
But yeah. And so the following year, senior year, we're out in spring break. Guy takes his shirt off. All the chicks notice. You definitely notice this gnarly scar. What a great point of conversation. When
Yeah, like you're jacked and you got a crazy scar.
spring break. No offense to my girlfriend, but we're picking up chicks back then.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and we're talking. So the story was that I was his manager at the time when we were out in Thailand, and we were doing.
You said Thailand, didn't you?
I said it. I said Thailand. Anyways, the story to the girls on spring break was that I was his manager. He was a Taipei deathmatch fighter. And if you don't know what Taipei deathmatch is, I learned it through WWE. I don't even know if it's really a thing, but basically they had Taipei deathmatches in WWE and ECW where the two wrestlers tape their fists up, they dip them in rubber cement, and then they roll them in shards of glass and fight each other. Yeah. Wild. That's a Taipei deathmatch. Don't know if it's actually a real thing in Taipei, but it was a thing in
some frat house in like Kansas has definitely done that.
I hope so.
For sure.
I hope that they book me next year.
For sure has done that.
So that was the story, that he gained those scars in a Taipei death match, and you would not believe the amount of girls that believed it and went for it.
I would have bought it.
Hell yeah.
I would have bought it.
Right? What a fucking dumb story now that I tell it back. We're going to have to delete that whole thing.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty sick though, to be honest.
It is pretty sick.
That's so funny because I also have an absolutely tragic story on a bike as well.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. I was 12 years old when I lived in Corona.
The good days. Shout out Corona.
Yeah, shout out Corona, man. Not the virus, but
not the beer.
Yeah, either.
The place.
The place, exactly. Yeah.
Where's that at?
Inland Empire. So like if you're going to Riverside, for all my local Orange County-esque people. Yeah. Horses.
In California?
Yeah. Okay. Horses, smells like shit all the time. But great place. Great place. Super.
There's a couple spots like that in Chicago.
Super awesome. But was at my neighbor's pool, best friend at the time, and took his little sister's bike to ride back down to my house to go change. Had no shirt on, no shoes, just little swimmy trunks.
Oh.
Going down a steep hill. Bike didn't have any brakes. Put my feet down on the asphalt. Go straight over the handlebars. Penguin slide about 25 feet on the asphalt, ripped every piece of skin off from the basically top of my nipples all the way down to my belly button, ripped every ounce of skin off, had to get put inside of a warm bath and have about 4 to 6 bottles of hydrogen peroxide poured on me with a rag and get all the asphalt rubbed out of my stomach.
That sounds like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
That's some Taipei shit.
Finish him. That's gnarly, bro.
Yeah, my nipple got ripped off.
Is this why you look the way you do?
Bah, bah, bah. Yeah, it was fucking no, it was crazy though.
You're a sexy short king. Yeah. Everybody knows that.
Short kings, baby.
Let's go.
God.
I'm like a medium king. I wouldn't say I'm a tall guy, but I'm not a short guy.
That's like, is a medium king like medium ugly?
Maybe.
Where it's like, you're not hot, but you're not ugly.
Depends on what time of the night it is.
Oh.
Yeah, or time of the morning. That sense.
That's valid. Either way.
Yeah, man. There's been some. I think everybody has those stories, right? Though,
sure. Has to.
I think
you haven't lived if you don't.
You haven't lived if you haven't had
some
like
crazy
fucked up stories like that.
Facts. Absolutely facts.
Yeah, man. It builds character.
Yeah.
I know they say that, right?
Dude, I feel like I never told you this, but when we were in Chicago, and what was that Soundbar.
Did we go to Soundbar?
Yes.
We did?
Yeah. We went to Soundbar. And
Why the fuck did we go there?
And mind you, I'm out there. I'm basically out there. I'm staying by myself in some hotel. Dude. And you guys had all left because you were with, your boys and the Pods boys were there. And everybody dispersed, and I came outside of the club like, yo, where the fuck did everybody go? And I am blasted.
Yeah. Not the best place to be either.
Dude, blasted.
Yeah, outside of Soundbar, blasted's not, I think that's the beginning of most bad tales in Chicago.
Dude.
That's the beginning of a news story in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so drunk, and I really don't know how I got out of there and got back to the hotel. Never told you that.
Congrats. There's no more coffee in here, but congrats.
I didn't die. Which
You're
is great.
Here. Yeah. I'm sorry that happened.
No, it's all good. The videos are hilarious. I was like calling my dad, like, I'm in Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm at.
I don't know get me back to Corona. Yeah. Well, dude, I'm glad you made it out of the trenches.
Yeah. Out the mud, dude.
Chicago gets a bad rap, but it's changed a lot.
I've only been once, so I really can't say anything about it.
That area of River North has really changed a lot. I think back when I was like really rampantly going down there every weekend, Thursday to Sunday, sometimes to Monday if you're counting Sunday fun day. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. There was like a lot of things going on there, but I think once COVID hit, shit kind of hit the fan down there, and like because that was the entertainment district, I feel like that was like a central node for people to go just like fuck shit up.
Yeah.
It's never really been the same. And it's there's definitely been some really bad happenings
Yeah.
right there in that little strip. Because
Really?
I think my philosophy.
Wow, I feel fortunate then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely you gotta be on your gotta have your head on a swivel, as they would say. But I think the thing is too, right there in that area, the on ramp to the highway is right there. So if you're somebody that's trying to commit a crime, it's like boom, boom, go. You're
gone.
You're gone. Nobody's catching you. Nobody's seeing you. I don't know, man. Chicago, I like gets a bad rap, but realistically, I lived there for a total of 29 years of my life. I just aged myself, but let's say 24 years of my life. And
Let's go back in time.
I know where to go and where not to go.
Yeah.
And
But that's what you learn about being in a city like that.
I think that's true about any city, though. And like yesterday, we were in San Francisco,
especially New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. New York is interesting for sure.
Very.
But I like New York because the last couple times I went there to DJ. And so I kind of had like a purpose to be there. And I got shown. I think the best thing you can do when you go to a new city is be with somebody who lives there, because they're going to show you like,
shit that you never seen.
where not to go, shit you never seen, and like the real culture of it. Like, we got to go to, I think it's called West Village last time I was there. I don't know if
Is that in Brooklyn?
No, it's not in Brooklyn. I'm fucking this up. I don't know exactly where it's at, but it was really dope. It was fun. It was like vibrant. It was very neighborhoody feel. Yesterday in San Francisco, I was gonna say too, like we were in like the hotel we were at was kind of like in the financial district, and dude, we saw some fucking night walkers.
Oh,
okay, God. Some like creepy crawlers over there. And poor Kimberly is like, my girlfriend's like, is this San Francisco? Like, I'm not getting the vibes. Like, this isn't what I thought it was. I was like, we are just like, I always try to compare it to Chicago in the sense like, yeah, if you're in the financial district of Chicago on like a Saturday night, there's really nobody walking around except for like maybe homeless people or people trying to get somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of how we felt in this area. I was like, just wait, like let's go to some other area. So we went over to where were we at? Now I can't think about where we were at. I'm sorry.
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
It's been like
we went to some pretty cool
13
ass
years
spots
since I've been to San Fran.
Yesterday, and she got more of a vibe of San Francisco. I was like, this is like how every city is to a sense. You're gonna find good spots. You're gonna find bad spots. That's what makes cities, right? And you typically go out to the suburbs, and it's definitely gonna be a little less, chaotic, and it's gonna be more residential.
Yep.
But that is like the geographical like idea of how cities are made, right? So
yeah. Well, someone like yourself who's been to so many cities.
Yeah.
What would you say your favorite city that you've been to, and your least favorite city that you've been to?
Ooh, that's a good question. And
because you've been to a lot.
I'm gonna piss people off with this one.
You've been to a lot.
I have been to a lot of cities. Very fortunate to have seen a lot of cities at this point. I think one of my favorite cities has to be. I really liked Austin. Austin's pretty cool. It's just like
it's very techie. I've heard
it's
very
techie.
like
It's hipster. Yeah. It's like a blue city and a red state. Not that I'm blue or red necessarily. I know we said we weren't really going to talk about that. I know, but that's what they call it. That's why. And I think for me, it's just like I kind of like that juxtaposition of like a city kind of going against the grain of everything else in that state. And just kind of being itself. I think we talked about that, right? It's like a city that just wears it on its sleeve. Like their motto is like "Stay weird," which I love. That's super cool, right?
It's like Portland, dude.
Yeah. Well, Portland I think is past the point. Yeah, it's beyond weird.
Yeah,
I think
I used to live there. Let me fucking tell
Portland's motto
you.
is
Some crazy stories.
Yeah, Portland's motto is "Weird's not enough. Yeah. Be weirder.
Be a felon."
Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, Portland's wild, man.
Dude, yeah.
Austin's one of my favorite cities, for sure. I think.
So fire. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's all good. Least favorite city. I don't like want to put. I don't really. I'm staying in Texas here. I don't really get Dallas as much. I like Dallas in the sense of like.
It's Dallas.
I don't like Dallas, actually. I think
I lied.
I think to me, it just seems a little like, I don't know, this is the thing for me, because I base things off of dance culture.
Oh, okay.
I base cities off of like their music culture, Does it have a little spice? You know, is it rich and I just feel like I don't know. Dallas just doesn't seem like
Doesn't have the pizzazz.
Nah, but again, it's based off my experience, and maybe I haven't experienced the right Dallas.
Valid.
So please, when I am definitely going back to Dallas to play in the spring, and if anybody sees this or hears this, please show me the right Dallas, because I don't want to deter any city that's like knock any city. Like, I just think it's all based on your experience. So, you know,
100%.
I don't speak for everybody when I say Dallas is my least favorite city. I can only speak from my experience. So, and same with Austin. I really like Austin, but it's based on my experience.
Totally.
I think you can have really shitty experiences anywhere you go, depending on, you know, what you do and what you're into. But yeah, I think I feel like I shouldn't have stayed so much in Texas. I'm trying to think where else have I gone recently that I really enjoyed. Denver's pretty cool.
I've heard.
Yeah, Denver's a vibe. What else is a vibe? I love Florida.
Never been.
I don't know.
Florida's fucking crazy.
It's
though,
crazy.
Dude.
You could Florida.
That's
so many,
Jit City down
it's
there,
so
brother.
many different vibes. I think people think one thing about Florida, but it can be so many different things. Oh, Nashville. I love Nashville.
Same.
I love Nashville.
I've been once.
It still needs work on like its overall dance culture. They're very much EDM. We like EDM. But it's changing rapidly.
Yeah.
It isn't just country anymore, for sure. It's a party town. It's fucking. If you do play there, it's because you've made enough of a name for yourself. Where like people will like it's an average consumer, an average music like dance music listener there.
But I guess you could say it's almost like a more of a niche kind of thing in Nashville as of now.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. I love Nashville though. Nashville's
the
a fucking
barbecue,
vibe.
dude.
Oh,
The only thing I
yeah.
cannot stand is the humidity. I'm sorry.
It does get humid.
I'm
there.
sorry. I cannot deal with taking a shower, walking outside, and feels like I'm walking through a bag of Yoplait yogurt, dude. It is just. Yeah, you step outside, she's like, oh!
Yeah,
My God.
You get pudding in your pants
Oh.
every time you fucking step off the toilet seat.
Ew.
I don't know what that means, but
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna digest that in the background and see if I can figure out what the fuck he just said.
no,
yeah,
yeah,
it's the only thing I
it
can't
gets
do
hot
is
as
the
shit. Oh, I got a
humidity.
funny story about Nashville.
Run it.
This was before I was even DJing and went there to DJ. It was, I think this was like 2015.
Damn.
Me,
The glory days.
yeah, me, three of my bros. My boys were like, we're going to go take a fucking road trip to Thrashville, Crashville, Slashville. We came up with every fucking nickname in the book before we got there.
Anything to replace Nash.
It's a Smashville. It's a 7-hour ride from Chicago straight. Not too bad, though, with 4 boys. You're hanging out. You're shooting the shit, smoking some weed, whatever. Listening to just it wasn't even podcast then. It was like we were listening to like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like funny shit. This is a great group. We stayed at the W. It was in I think it was like August in Nashville. It was hotter than fucking hell. It was hotter than hell's asshole.
Yeah, literally, just go sleep next to an oven that's on and leave the door open.
Yeah,
like,
it was. I mean, it was pretty fucking hot.
ridiculous.
But we stayed at the W, and at that same time, there was like a bodybuilder.
competition.
Yeah, like convention going on. So there was like jacked chicks walking around like with like smashing protein fucking bottles over their head and shit. It was a vibe. The W was sick, but we got there and we couldn't check in just yet. So we're kind of like walking up and down Broadway, and you walk towards the end of Broadway where the Broadway meets the river, if you've ever been there. And at that point, the river was like flooded. So there's like a river walk, but the river walk and the level of the river were like at the same, like it was overflowed a bit, and so it was like level. And we were like, this is really interesting. We're walking up and down it, just minding our own business, taking it all in. And there's this very, I don't want to use the term hillbilly, but very country family in front of us, just based on looks alone. Don't judge a book by its cover.
I was judging. This book had an obvious cover.
Yeah,
though.
I was judging it.
Yeah.
Okay, the book said get her done.
Yeah.
No, the family was also kind of doing what we were doing, just looking around. And all of a sudden, we hear, get back! Get back! It's a goddamn copperhead! And I look, and there's this massive fucking snake coming up out of the river onto the river walk that's like all one level. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? This is my first experience in Nashville. And we're like, yo, this thing's long as shit. I know I've visited in the South a lot. Anytime you see a snake come up out of the water,
Run.
good chance. Yeah, it's a fucking,
It's
it's poisonous.
venomous.
Yeah. So, water moccasin, whatever the fuck it is. But that liner, get back! It's a goddamn copperhead. we ran with that the whole trip.
Oh my
Again,
God.
hitting on girls. She walked by with, double D. Boots are rocking.
It's a copperhead.
Get back, it's a goddamn copperhead. And like they would be like, what the fuck? But whatever, man.
I took it and run with it.
Yeah, literally.
Those snakes are no joke. I do not do
That was
snakes.
fucking wild.
I don't do snakes.
No, I don't do snakes either. Like
I don't do snakes.
people or actual snakes. Fuck them. Actually, it's weird. I don't mind snakes as much as I hate spiders.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah,
spiders,
same.
dude. What are those things?
You know, on average, you eat about like 14 spiders
Fuck
a year.
you. Sorry, that was abrasive.
No. Hey, I'm.
Dude, I've
like
heard
a-
that
I'm
like
like
a
a punching
weird
bag.
stat. I heard that like they're crawling in your ears and
Mhm.
shit at night. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what else is weird? Octopuses, octopi,
Octopi.
octopi.
Octopus.
Yeah, octopuses. That's
yeah.
actually like wasn't that a James Bond movie? Octopussy. Who fucking
James Bond
who
movie.
fucking came up with that name? Yeah.
Probably the same dude who came up with Human Centipede.
Wow.
Who the fuck signed off on that?
We just took a left turn down.
But that's serious.
Yeah.
Who signed off on that?
I don't even know. Let's reverse back to octopi.
Very smart creatures.
Those are fucking weird, man. Those are aliens, bro.
No, literally.
Literally aliens that just live in the ocean. What the fuck are those, man?
They are
Another thing I'm scared of, the ocean. I'm so deathly afraid of the ocean.
same.
I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
Like if I ever get booked to go on like EDC or the booze cruise or whatever
EDC,
it's
like-
called, yeah. I don't know if I can make it.
Yeah, pound sand, kid. I ain't going on the water.
I
Sorry.
am viciously afraid of the ocean.
Same.
I don't know. I think it's the unknown for me.
It's the fact that I can't run. That's
I can't
my
run.
problem.
I feel like I don't know what's underneath my fucking legs. I don't like feeling like I'm at a disadvantage. I just don't like. I don't know. It's
So
something about it
valid.
I just don't like. And yeah, so things in the ocean freak me the fuck out. Megalodon.
Real?
I mean,
You seen the satellite images?
Jason Statham says he's real. Did you see that movie?
The Meg?
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't seen it, but it looks pretty fucking gnarly.
It is
There
pretty
was like
gnarly.
a reoccurring.
It's way better if you watch it high.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I heard.
It's way better.
Isn't everything?
Mm,
Yeah.
if you watch Interstellar high, it could lead you into an
Yeah.
existential crisis.
Yeah. I need one of those.
To get high or an existential crisis?
Existential
Oh, God.
crisis. Oh yeah. No, dude. I'm. What else are you?
Octopi are real, though.
Yeah,
They're-
they're definitely real.
And they are
They're basically
incredibly
spiders.
intelligent.
They're just big ass spiders. Now, do you think there was a kraken?
I think every myth has to come from some origin
Right.
of truth.
It's real. It's got to be. I think, man. I think there was definitely at one point there was like some massive fucking. There probably still is, dude. There's so much of the ocean we haven't even discovered.
With the Earth is 70% water, and the Earth, the ocean is an entire world underneath land.
You think there's
the-
people down there?
Yes,
Or not like us humans, but like a life form like that, like cities, like a.
I could see it.
You know what is crazy?
see it.
Yeah, I could see it.
I could see it.
I could see it for. I think I'm a big believer of that. If you can think it, or like you said, if there's been a myth about it, it's possible, 100%.
There's got to be some truth behind it.
In a weird way, right?
No
there's
one's
just-
that creative.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what I'm saying, right? How it's wild. I think
No one's that creative.
nobody is that creative. There's got to be something.
regarding your car's extended warranty.
What? Excuse me.
Excuse me?
There's got to be something down there. I forgot what the fuck I was just gonna get at.
Atlantis or some shit. You know what I don't fuck with? Antarctica.
I don't think anybody does.
You're not even allowed to go there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
It's all restricted. That's
That's-
where people say the center of the Earth is. The hollow Earth. That's
You're a
where-
flat earther.
No. I'm not a flat earther.
How about those people?
God.
Love them. We need them. We
What-
need those people though.
What else what other evidence do you need to be proven wrong that the Earth is round?
It's pretty wild though. Like the shit that they like come up with to back it up is pretty absurd.
Like, we're not living on a piece of sourdough, brother. This is a rock. This is a round.
Which is a good point to make that we are just living on a big floating rock.
That's
so
it.
go spend that fucking check, dude.
I like that.
Or just go spend it.
Go do it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
What do you got to worry about?
Go fucking
So you owe a little bit of money to the government.
go hook up with somebody's mom, you know?
They need loving too.
Yeah, just do it.
The
you know?
word MILF is like what a great thing.
What a great term.
You know what else was good? Up your butt and around the corner. What a fucking comeback.
Up your butt.
Let's talk about some things that need to come back.
Mm.
Tamagotchis.
Bullying. Sorry.
Ready. Bam, bam, bam. To a point. I don't. I'm not gonna.
I'm not condoning it. Or
as a former
or an
elementary
advocate.
school teacher, I'm not condoning it, or I'm not pro bullying. But I do think, in some, hear me out before we get canceled. You can't cancel me. I ain't a fucking gym membership.
Yeah, come on.
I think,
Damn.
in the sense of, I think people are getting a little soft. Now, bullying, I think the word bullying also gets thrown around.
Yes.
Like,
Too loosely.
he's bullying me. Easy there, Margaret. Nobody's bullying you, okay? Take it easy. Take it down a fucking Nancy.
Nobody cares about you that much, besides your parents.
Yeah. I think bullying doesn't need to come back, and I think there's still bullying out there. It's just in different forms. I think there needs to be a little bit more grit, though. There needs to be a little bit more like.
There's gotta be. You gotta have that layer of thick skin.
Yeah. The thick skin, please, dude. Look, I'm a big proprietor of like.
dude.
I'm from Chicago, and in Chicago, it's like you say something to somebody, I'm firing back, and I'm firing back quick. But it's also like it's kind of how I break I break the ice with people. Like, can you vibe out and can you kind of toss it back and forth without getting all like, you talk shit about me?
Yeah.
Well, dude, you're wearing a fucking frog hat. So you're probably an amphibian and you probably like the opposite sex, but you also don't like yourself.
Ba, ba, ba. That was extremely well fabricated. I will admit, but yeah, no, I.
You know what I mean,
agree.
though. I think
no, I do.
that's.
I really,
guess that's what I
really
mean.
do agree to you.
Okay.
I really do
Are we,
agree.
I agree with you. No, but that's what I mean. So I think that's the point I was trying to make. Bullying, no, we don't need to bully people. That's out. Like making other people feel like shit or hurting people, to a point where it's like obvious, like malicious. That's out. That's
I
for
think
the
you
birds.
need to give people the real shit, and whether they like it or not.
Yeah. People need to build that thick skin. I think for me, it was also like that was a huge point of like being able to stick up for myself as I grew up, like knowing that like you kind of got to be on your toes verbally and be able to like be quick-witted. I think it's a sign for me. It was like, yo, you can stand up for yourself with just your words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I think, yeah, this generation, it sucks that you have to watch what you fucking say so much.
I hate it.
I haven't, like, knock on wood, I haven't been like thrown to the lions yet. Maybe after this podcast I will. But I don't know, man. It's just like, come on. Like, what? Like, why do people? Like, I think people are just waiting for people to fall, or waiting for people to slip up, so they can be like, "Did you hear what he said?"
I told you.
Oh, you know.
No, I agree.
I mean, there's definitely some things that I'm glad have kind of been exiled from like the normal vocabulary. We don't need to say them. I think people know what they are, but there's so many things. It's like, yo, chill out.
Yeah.
Chill out.
My thing is just like, I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me.
But also, like, if
Like-
I do fuck with you, just know that like I'm just fucking
Yeah, but
around.
you have to be able to that delineation of like.
That's what people are missing these days,
Yes, and
especially because it's online. I think that's the other problem. We used to have to do it like this. Now people
yeah, it's all the keyboard warriors.
Yeah, they just get on there and talk hella shit, and they know that there's no actual repercussion or like, talking some shit to somebody in person is way different than talking to them across the world online. Way different, right? Like, and so that's the advantage that these people have. But it also goes like, I just showed you that promo video we're doing with Walsh, and I'm sending it to like my guy that kind of like oversees some of my social media content, just like with ideas and hooks and things
He's like,
like
this could maybe be construed a different way.
and not to his fault. And
Yeah.
he's not a person that cares really about that type of
doing his
stuff. But he's
job,
doing
really,
his job, like looking out for me. He's like, just be careful because. And so let me give you some context. The other day at a show, for anybody listening, we're gonna give you some context here. The other day at a show, I planted my best friend Walsh, who's a big, stocky, athletic fucking dude, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful blue eyes, ice blue. He's a stallion. Stud.
Yeah.
I hate him. I fucking hate him.
God damn it.
He's so hot. Anyways, it just makes me feel like the B friend when I'm next to him, right? He's just so good looking. Anyways, I'm getting off track.
Walshy, you are good looking.
He's
dude.
a good looking dude,
good-looking,
right?
Walsh.
Okay, he looks like he looks like the
Oh,
He
God.
looks like the
Oh, God.
antagonist. He looks like the villain from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He looks like Vampire Diaries. Anyways, he's my best friend. We're at a show in Madison just a couple days ago, and I had an idea to plant him in the audience. But I was going to plant him with a woman's wig, blonde wig, tight crop top shirt, says daddy across it. We're dressing him up like a girl.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason why is because he was actually holding up a sign that said, "We'll put out if you play Hectic 2, which is a song that I have coming out with Henry Fong, selfless plug, in 2024. It's the
Selfless plug.
It's the follow-up to Hectic. So we call
Yeah.
it Hectic 2, but it's the actual name of it's Take Control. Anyways, I'm getting off track. We planted Walsh. We planted Walsh into the crowd for this moment, right? And he's dressed up as a girl.
Yeah. Doing his
Um,
thing.
Yeah, because that's what we do. He's my best friend.
It's funny.
We're fucking around.
It's
We're
funny.
fucking around. We're doing it for the tent. We're pushing tent
Pushing tent.
content for those NARPs out there that don't know what that means.
Pushing
And by the way,
tent.
if you don't know what a NARP is, it's a non-athletic regular person. Anyways, we plant him out in the crowd. He's dressed up like a lady, and a very good looking lady at that for his stature. Honestly, I think a girl hit on him while he was dressed. She's like, "Oh, you have beautiful eyes." And
Turns around, is like, what?
he's like, "You don't see the wig
Yeah.
and the getup I have on right now." Again,
You don't see my mustache?
fuck Walsh. He's so good looking. Even in a goddamn wig and a crop top, he's still getting hit on.
It's unbelievable.
Lucky son of a bitch. Anyways, so the point I'm making is my friend, consultant, whatever, for my social media, I send them this. He thinks it's gold, but he's also like, just be careful what you say because you don't want this to be like
yeah. Misconstrued. in some way.
misconstrued as like me, I don't know.
Anti this.
Anti this or
I get what
pro
you're saying.
that, or you're not taking into consideration a girl's feelings or their feelings or his feelings or whatever. My pronouns are USA,
Yeah.
brother. Goddamn right. Okay? If you don't like it, get the hell out. Sorry, that's the cowboy hat talking. Bam, bam, bam.
That was some patriotic
Yeah.
shit right there, brother.
Dude, let's bring back loving the United States a little
I
bit.
love it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not perfect.
Yeah, but guess what? A lot of countries aren't either.
Yeah, nobody is. Let's bring it back a little bit. I feel
Hey,
like-
I'm here for
Right?
it, dude.
What the
I've
fuck?
I've always been that way.
paint a fucking war eagle on my back and a box of Converse shoes on my nipples. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm proud to be a fucking American.
Hell yeah.
I'm proud to be from Chicago.
Hell yeah.
Chicago is more. I think that's America. It's a melting pot. Yeah, there's some guns. There's also good pizza. Great Chinatown. House music. The Cubs suck, but it's baseball.
Hey, Cubs weren't too bad a couple years ago. Won the series. First time in
That was
108
that
years.
was in 2016, dude. That was
I was trying to be
I was almost. I gotta go.
dish out a little
No,
love.
back to kind of what we were talking about, man. I know we're jumping all around here. By the way, we've only had coffee, guys.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering what these guys are on,
Life.
White Sparrow coffee.
Yep. Shout out White Sparrow.
Shout out, you are the White Sparrow. But no, I think the point I'm trying to make at the end of the day here, without going too far
Gotta
off the
bring it
beaten path,
back, man.
is, dude, like, I'm just having fun with it. You know, I'm not trying to piss anybody off. And honestly, if I do piss somebody off, it's probably gonna go viral. So, fuck it.
Facts.
It's a controversy shells, bro. Controversy shells. Yeah, sometimes you got to be a little controversial. I don't want to be. I'm gonna make that very
Yeah,
clear.
but that's the nature of it sometimes.
I'll tell you right now, unfortunately, at some point, there's going to be some controversy caused. It's going to feel a little empty without me. What's that? What's the Eminem song?
Yeah, without me. Yeah,
Yeah.
without me.
It's for me, so everybody
Yeah,
just follow me because we need a little controversy because it feels so empty without me. So come on, jiggle a bit, jump back, wiggle your hips and jiggle a bit and get ready because this shit's about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. Fuck you, Debbie. And that's who I'm talking about, Debbie. Don't be a fucking Debbie Downer. That's what these people are right now. People that are out here trying to catch you in a cancellation. Again, this
You guys heard that?
I ain't no fucking gym membership. Cancellation? You can't cancel me.
Uncancelable.
I think that's the real root of this.
Yeah.
When somebody gets canceled these days, fuck that.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, okay. If you do if you do something like crazy wrong,
Yeah,
like,
there's a line.
Yeah, there's
a line.
obviously a line for sure.
But I don't even think it needs to be labeled canceling. It's just like, yo, you fucked up really bad.
So
you're gonna pay the price for what you did.
What happened?
Why does it have to have a name?
Yeah, what happened to people fucking up, owning up to it, and then like, yo, let's not make that mistake again.
Yeah.
And then if you do make the mistake again, you're an idiot.
That's what I'm saying. And then
But,
you
like,
have
what the
and then
fuck?
you have problems.
You know,
Personally.
I mean, again, there are definitely some things that are like
Absolutely.
it's really hard to forgive people, and that
Absolutely.
like, we don't need to go through the examples. I think people can think of what those examples are.
Absolutely.
Did you just go in sports mode? That's hot. Cool.
Just wait till I whip the Crocs on him.
Excuse me? Wait till you what? Hold on. Hold on. I think I got a call. Hello?
Oh my god, he actually has Crocs.
Yeah. My boy Willie's gonna be sending you. Yep, that's right. Alex Williams. He'll be sending you a pair next week, brother. Don't worry. I need to get the little things on them.
Yes, the pins.
Yeah.
I'll send you some for your
I need
birthday.
some sick house music ones, like a house and then the music sign, something generic,
Fire.
whatever. Damn, this is fucking amazing, dude. I
Yeah,
want to
we
just
just-
tell you how this is the type of podcast shit I want to do.
Thank you.
This
Appreciate
is
that.
me though. Like, yeah, I can tell you about my spiel. Like,
Yeah, but I feel like most of the podcasts that you've been on or going to be on are kind of going to be more along.
people don't want to. I think for like the people who have watched all these podcasts I've been on lately, I don't want them to hear the same story every.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
Time, you know
and
what I mean?
that's kind of what I was thinking coming on. I was like,
Yeah.
how many times is he going to get asked the same fucking questions over and over and over
Dude.
again before it's like, yo, you know what? Actually, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come on your show.
We get it. I was a virgin until I was 13.
Whoa.
Just kidding. Don't put that in my Wikipedia, bro. Don't put that in my Wikipedia. Just kidding. No, I kept it real until I was about 16.
Yeah.
When did you lose your virginity?
It's about the same. Yeah, it's about
16?
16.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
What a weird.
What a weird time to be alive that was.
Let's.
I have you want to know how I lost it?
Sure. I think that's what I was getting at.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah, we're not just gonna leave it. Stop it there. Let's hear it. Was it consensual? Like
Oh, of
like on
course.
your end? I mean,
Oh,
like
of course, yes.
because I think a lot of guys like in that first spot. Sometimes I think there's been some dudes that have had like older women kind of like take advantage of them.
Yes.
You know, it's just a weird experience in general. I mean, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
Oh,
I was just praying.
yeah, you have
I was just praying. I found the right.
the hole.
You said it right on the dot, bro. Yeah, you're right.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, straight.
Cut the bullshit.
Straight to the spot.
Straight to the spot. G-spot. Sorry. God damn it. Okay, I lost my
Uno, dos,
Yo,
straight. Hit on the gas.
I lost my virginity in a bush at the OC Fair.
What kind of bush?
Like a shrub, like
George
a bush.
Bush?
No, just
Goddamn right.
a local shrubbery at the local elementary school.
Goddamn right, you did, brother.
Yep, that's how I lost mine.
Your father
At the
tried.
OC Fair. Snuck out of the OC Fair, went to the school across the street, went in the bush, did the deed.
A lot of people do a lot of shit in bushes, and that is not one of them that I've done. But kudos to you, man. How'd that work out? How did that work out? In a bush?
Yeah.
Like why? You were trying to like stay out of like you didn't want to be in the limelight?
Yeah, you know, we were like trying to be secretive.
Here's a thought: get a room next time. What's so funny here?
Turn your glasses to the camera, please.
Son of a bitch! I just got creamed on by the white
Bum,
sparrow.
bum,
This is absurd.
Oh my fucking god.
I could seriously sit here with you for hours. All right, so wait. This is I don't think I really put what the fuck is that?
It's the CO2 from the show.
Bum, bum, bum. All right. So you lost your virginity in a bush.
Yes, in the bush.
Like
Not my proudest moment,
take me
but-
through that. Was this a girl you were dating?
Yes.
Is a girl?
It was
Okay.
my first ever girlfriend.
And you guys were like,
We were adventurous.
this
yeah.
is it.
Yeah. pretty much.
Alcohol involved?
No, we were 16. Maybe some deep fried Oreos.
16. Deep fried Oreos, those are fire.
Oh, I can't do them. Can't do anything deep fried. Minus
That sounds like a porn category.
deep fried or
Deep fried Oreos. Did you just picture what I pictured? Yeah. Anyways,
That was so vivid.
yeah, usually is. Yo, That's pretty sick. The first time the first time I lost my virginity was to my next door neighbor. Oh, she's gonna hate that I fucking just said that. But yeah, I guess you don't really. I lived in several houses, so I guess you don't really know which one it is. She does. In my
Neighborly love, right there.
yeah, a little neighborly love.
Neighborly
Love thy neighbor.
Love.
Well, I took that one too far.
Took it literally.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Usually is.
Yeah, it was. Remember how I told you that first sound check went?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. No idea what to check for.
Yeah.
I felt a little used.
Mm.
She didn't talk to me much after that.
You're 16.
Yeah. So
What were you guys using? Fucking like Blackberries and shit?
I don't even remember how I got a hold of her.
Yeah. Cake or something?
Yeah, I think I
You remember Cake?
opened the window. Hey,
Yeah, like the Taylor Swift music video, just holding signs and
Yeah.
shit on the glass.
I was like breathing on the glass, right in her
She's
like
got
finger
a
of notes.
smile that
Yeah.
can light up this whole
Whole
town.
town.
I haven't seen it in a while since she put it down.
We'll talk about Taylor.
T Swift.
We'll talk about
Bro,
Taylor.
my girlfriend is obsessed with T Swift. It's borderline unhealthy.
Mine's becoming a Swiftie, and you know why. You know why she is.
Kelsey,
Yeah.
She a Chiefs fan?
I'm a big fan. What's your take on
she a
that?
Chiefs fan?
She's not, but she's become one because of Taylor.
Dude, okay, hold on.
We're going to a Chiefs Patriots game in a couple weeks.
I'm going to the Chiefs Chargers game.
That's
in
yeah.
January.
I mean, dude, it's honestly it's iconic. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go out on the limb right now. I'm fucking here for the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce relationship.
I am too.
You know why? Because as a as a '90s baby, we grew up and remember like the iconic fucking couples. Like you had your Justin Timberlake and Britney. You had your
Gwen Stefani and who was
you had your Ross and your Rachels.
Yeah,
even though it was
there you
fiction,
go.
it was real in my mind. Who else? Who else was like really big? You had your J Lo and Ben Affleck's. You had like just those pop.
Jay-Z,
Christina and Eminem kind of had like a little thing.
Yeah.
Feel so empty without
Not
me.
Banger.
Yeah, such a banger. I play that in my set all the time. But yeah, so I think that's the vibe it's giving me right now because you just hear so many like breakup stories and you hear so many like I don't know. It's like for a while in the last couple of years, it's felt like I feel like the norm or like the cool thing is to be single and to not have that like public relationship. And I think it's also again, it's partly because I'm a '90s baby, but I also have a pretty public relationship.
Yeah.
Kimberly is very much a part of like my online persona, my social media presence, and that's not because I think there's a lot of ways people do it. I think some people do it to like showcase that like you're in a relationship, and those usually fucking fall apart. In my case, I think again it goes back. It's my life.
Yeah.
It would be weird if she wasn't in some of my videos because she's literally a part of my life and I see her every day. So back to the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing, I think it's really cool what they've done and like the explosion of what it's caused. And you don't see them like all willy-nilly, kissy. They're not very PDA. They've kept it pretty private, but to the point where they've also kept it pretty public in a sense. Like you see them walking together in the backstage or locker room, whatever the fuck it is, backstage arena. You see her up in the skybox. Like it's kind of giving that old American story, right? You have the cheerleader and the football player. I think those are the lines that I think people are attracted to, and I think those are the reasons why.
Yeah.
You have two people from totally separate worlds that like wouldn't really make sense, but totally make sense. And it's kind of that American
Yeah, it is
couple.
like the football player and the cheerleader. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, man.
Totally is. I actually never looked
Right?
at that.
And I feel like, think
Don't
about
ever tell my girlfriend that I
Yeah.
said that because then she'll be like, "Oh, you're a Swiftie."
Yeah,
now.
I love it,
You're
man.
a Swiftie
I'm a
stan."
fan of it. I'm a fan of America.
Yes.
And it's
God damn it.
America. It's made in the USA. That's what that is.
Born in the USA.
I thought we were doing the born in the USA remix. Okay. So, yeah, I'm for it.
It's your next single.
What's your what's your take on it? Are you in agreement? Are you for it?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think I just get a little tired of looking at SportsCenter, and it's like I want to see football stuff. And
Yeah. I get that.
Taylor Swift is at the game.
I
well,
get
no
that.
shit.
I get that. But I think
And this is like the 12th game she's been at, so you
Yeah.
know what? Hey, give it a rest.
Yeah, I get that. I guess that was a little annoying at first, but at this point now, I like to take a bigger step back from things and really see like God, out of all the negative fucking things that are in the media, let us have that.
Yes.
Now, the thing I'm a little nervous about, because again, I always think what's going to happen. I think a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to break up and she's going to have, that's her next album. I honestly think this is it. I think this is it. Did something just go off?
Oh, I think the light on top just went
They're
off.
going to fuck things up?
Yeah, I actually wanted to grab another beverage.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we might be here for a while.
Yeah, what do we
Can we grab another? What do you want?
I'll drink another coffee, honestly.
You want to go get another coffee?
No, we don't need to go get one. I mean, do you have like caffeine, something caffeinated? Do you have Celsius?
We can go grab a Celsius. Oh, Celsius sounds so good.
Let's take a walk. Yeah, it's good to have these breaks.
Oh, Celsius sounds so good.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna go grab a Celsius, guys. Oh, it sounds so good.
Let's do it.
BRB.
We're back.
We're back again. Had to run to the gas station, grab some Celsius. Been here for a while, so we had to get some more juice for the conversation. But
wow,
to pick up on the fucking NFL Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, I had another thought that ties in.
I just burped in the mic. I'm sorry.
It's all good. We enjoy all bodily noises here.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Imagine this. It's kind of playing off the whole USA theme.
Okay.
Imagination.
Okay, man. What's up?
Imagine the military consisted of NFL wide receivers. Could you imagine somebody like DK Metcalf, who's 6'4", over 230, and runs over 22 miles an hour? Could you imagine him in full tack gear, night vision, a rifle, running at you 22 miles an hour?
I couldn't, actually.
See what I'm saying? Now that...
We don't have those type of guys.
Fucking scary.
Those type of guys, like a super athlete like that, they don't want to go to the Army.
Yeah, it's facts.
I'm not saying there's not athletes in the Army, by the way. Let's just make sure. I gotta see what I mean. I gotta watch what I fucking say.
I get it.
I hate this freaking time we live in.
I
But
know.
anyways, yeah, it would be wild for sure.
Crazy.
I mean, he would probably do some damage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, DK Metcalf is one of my favorite wide receivers. What happened to those type of receivers though?
Yeah, like
because you say receivers,
Megatrons,
yeah,
like the Calvin Johnsons,
the TOs.
Yeah. God, Terrell Owens.
God, I loved him.
Yeah, he was a dog.
Fucking dog.
He was a dog.
There had to be some steroids there, right? Yeah.
Probably.
I miss the steroids.
I know. Sports were so much more crazy.
It was awesome.
Dude.
Everything was better with steroids.
It's hard to argue with that.
I need to make a T-shirt.
Everything was better with steroids.
It's just such a weird time, and that's something I guess let's talk about that. Like WWE. Were you a WWE fan?
I actually never was, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I never was. I never got into it.
Fuck you. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I feel like I definitely feel like I'm on an island with that. It's not that I don't like it. I just never have.
I get it.
I don't know enough about it to be like, oh yeah, I like
it. It's definitely it's a cult thing. I think it was. I mean, well, you remember this though. It was like mad popular when we were growing up.
Oh yeah,
like,
of course.
Everybody would come back Tuesday morning. Oh my God, did you see what happened on Monday Night Raw? Or maybe you were lucky enough to your parents bought the pay-per-view and you got to see the.
Yeah.
Or you had the black box and you just stole it. I love that shit. Spice Channel was sick too, but yeah. So WWE. The way I'm bringing that up is like the point I'm getting at is I look at WWE, that heyday, that Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
When it was really popping and like everybody was watching it and it was kind of like a cultural phenomena.
Yeah.
That can't ever happen again. Like the WWE today, still a fan of the WWE universe, still a fan of wrestling in general, but it's needless to say, it's just not the same. Partly due to, the dudes 15, 20 years ago, they were on steroids. They looked like they were larger than life. They looked like cartoon comic books superheroes.
Yeah.
Also the edginess of it. It was almost like a point in time where like the technology wasn't good enough yet that they only could work with what they could work with. It was like grainy. The editing was like so bad.
Had that cheese ball factor to it.
But that's what made it great. Now you look at a WWE show and the ring is all LED. You know, everything's just so clean and like it's so perfect. There was something about that era that was also kind of a microcosm of what was happening in the world at that time during like the late 90s, early 2000s, where I feel like information, rise of internet, everything was happening so fast, but it was still like not fast enough where it's not like it is now,
Yeah.
right? Like where like something would go viral. Like this is right before like virality, and television was still king. But like again, the technology wasn't that good, and that's what made it special. Excuse me, the Celsius, holy shit.
Yeah, I know. The
Now
bubbles.
though, you can't recreate that vibe, and I think that's the same idea with why like the 90s vintage, like that stuff is like so it's in again, right? It's like what people almost want. They want that like edginess, that vintage feel.
Yeah.
It's crazy that like 90s is like what vintage is now, right?
Crazy.
But it's
Not that long ago.
no, it's something. There's just something raw and uncut about it, and it's interesting that like I look at that as like a time capsule. Like you can't ever recreate that, even if you tried. Like, and there's people that like there are like modes of cinematography and styles that are recreating it, but it's still never gonna be the same.
I think it's more of an emulation rather than a recreation.
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like
Man, it's just. I mean, it's what I'm doing with my music. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like I'm
100%.
trying to like definitely tap into the 90s sound that once was and kind of give it a little bit of a modern taste, or just like, bring it back to the forefront. And it's just interesting, right? Like how some things can be stuck in time like that. It's like muscle cars.
Yeah.
Those are stuck in time. Those are never like, even if you try to recreate a muscle car with like the Challenger was like brought back a couple years back, and they tried to make it look like an old muscle car, but it's just not.
It never will be.
But yeah, it's just
That's
like,
why people love old cars so much.
it's so wild, man. I don't even know why we started getting into that, but
Yeah, no, it's valid though. There's just some things that you can never,
yeah.
that will never be the way that they are, but that's just the nature of the progression of society and life. And
I
that's why
know.
it's like cool that you can still hang on to the essences of what was, and especially if you really like it, and maybe go buy an old car or
Yeah.
listen to 90s music or try and be inspired or bring to life in a new life
I
a
guess
certain era or a certain time, kind of, very
yeah.
similar to what you're doing.
I guess the question that I think of though is like, is it getting all jumbled? Like is the bringing back of old eras and old things as like vintage, but like now it's kind of new. Like I just wonder, like, we have the 90s style.
Yeah.
You have an 80s. You think of a few things that go along with the 80s. You think of the 50s, the 60s. They all have that like those generational decade pieces that go with those.
Yeah.
What's the 2010s? What's the 2020s? Like maybe it's hard to like pinpoint it because we're in it.
Yeah.
But
I see what you're saying.
I just
see what you're saying.
just don't feel like there's like such a distinction anymore. Now I feel like it's getting all kind of like just
It's
jumbled.
just the technology era. Like,
It's
I feel like
so fucking crazy how
Yeah.
fast things are moving, bro. It's like,
it's already December. God damn it.
yeah, well, that literally, like, the calendar's moving fast. But I'm talking, like,
Jesus.
the technology, man, is just, like, so fucking wild how fast it's moving. We talked about that earlier. Like, it's really about how fast you can keep up.
It is.
But at some point, I feel like it's just becoming so it's just crazy how fast it is, man. It's fucking wild. And I wonder, where does it end? Or where does it get to a point like, and I knew we were going to bring this up. We talked about AI earlier. Me, bro, I personally, I've said this on other podcasts. I think we are creating the next point of evolution.
I don't disagree at all.
I think
actually.
we're creating the things that are going to
Be
eventually,
creators.
and eliminate us. I think that's what's happening. I think we are making something, technology, call it whatever you want. Right now, like, we think of technology maybe as a phone or a laptop. We're making it so freaking smart. Eventually, I don't even know what form it takes. I think people think robots, right? And what robots look like are basically metallic humans.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it's that. I think it comes in the forms of things that we can't physically touch or hold. I think in someday it will be like a robot like you think, right? Like, you already have those. But I think what we're doing, we're creating the thing that wipes us out eventually. We're making things so smart that they're going to out. And why have humans been so successful on this earth? Because we're the smartest thing on this earth, right? Until there's something smarter.
Yeah, I think the problem with AI is going to be if we are able to discern the difference and to avoid giving it the capabilities of being sentient, meaning really thinking for itself, really being able to evolve its own thought processes on its own, because AI as of now is more of like a tool, or it can be automation.
It's
or
an input. It's based on our input. Right?
Exactly.
And that's that's what people say. Well, it doesn't work without the human.
Yeah, but if I feel like it's not so more if, but when that point changes to now it becomes you've created a artificial sentient being where it can really think for its own, I think that is where you start to really get in some scary gray area of, okay, well then how valuable does the human actually become when you have a machine or a software or however that's going to be dictated in the future capable of doing everyday tasks or moving society forward in a more efficient, in a better operating system, in a safer environment, because you take out human, just error.
Yep.
That I feel is if you get to that point, then it's like, okay.
Yeah, well, and then
now we're fucked.
That's the original idea of AI, right? It's a problem solver. It solves problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who causes the most problems on this earth? We do. So at some point where you give it so much power and ability, it's going to start figuring out the math.
Yeah.
And being like, well, this is the problem.
Exactly.
That's what's kind of scary. Now, again, I think even before that happens, I think there's going to be more of an integration between humans and AI and machines or whatever. I think it's going to be more of eventually there's going to be an implant system, right?
Like the Neuralink.
Neuralink or whatever, where it's almost and again, then that also separates society. Who has the Neuralink and who doesn't?
Yeah.
It's again,
kind of like a hierarchy.
Yeah, back
system,
to the idea of, can you keep up?
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
Fucking scary shit, man.
It is, man. It really is. Yeah. Well, my fucking guy, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I know that we kind of need to wrap. We got a long drive in front of us. We got to drive all the way to fucking Tarzana.
This
I don't know.
man is fucking driving me because he's the man.
Yeah, we're going to drive all the way to Tarzana to drop him off.
Bah, bah, bah. Yeah.
Which is far as shit. But I do want to ask you a final question that I do ask everybody.
Okay.
It is the 7-on-7's one life advice question.
Ooh.
It is a piece of advice, or someone, say a fan or a follower or just some Joe Schmo on the street and came up and asked you
Love Joe.
And just asked you a piece of advice of how, just life advice. What would be that piece of advice that you would give to somebody?
I love this question. I've gotten this question before, which we talked about that earlier, and I actually love this question though. I think my biggest piece of life advice and again, speaking from my own experience, is you only have one life. And at some point, you're going to be faced with the task of betting on yourself. Take the bet. Because when you look back at your life and you ask yourself, did I do everything I wanted to do? There's going to be a time where it may not be the safe decision. It may not be, the smartest play or society's way of doing things or the rule book or the blueprint that so many things have set out for us. But you got to go, what we talked about earlier, with that gut feeling of being yourself and betting on yourself. To simplify it down in third grader terms, I used to tell this to my third graders, go out on a limb. That's where all the fruit is, baby.
I love that.
That's where all the fruit is. You know what I'm saying? I didn't add the baby part when I told my kids. But so to refrain, go out on a limb. That's where all the fruit is. And the idea of that is you got to go out and take chances and bet on yourself, because that's where you find yourself. Because even if it's a failure, the failure is going to teach you a lot about yourself, and it's going to teach you about what you don't want, what you do want for yourself, and it's going to lead you in new directions. But so many of us, I think, get stuck in that comfort zone. And as humans, that's our nature. We want that comfort zone. But unfortunately, you don't actually grow, learn, and live unless you get outside that comfort zone.
Amen.
So, that, like I said, that could be betting on yourself, taking a chance. It could be taking a 2-hour drive to Tarzana with your boy. Either way, I think the gist of it is, like I said, you got to bet on yourself in this life, because nobody else is going to do it for you.
And you only have one shot to do that.
Yeah. You only got one life to live. At the end of the day, you know, I want to look back and say, I did it. I tried. I took a damn chance on myself, and you know what? Maybe I failed. Maybe I've had some failures. Maybe I had some ups. Maybe I had some downs. But that's what makes us human.
Yeah.
Is you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from your failures. And staying in the comfort zone, you're not going to fail a lot. You're not going to find out who you really are and what you're really made of. So, yeah, that's my piece of advice, man.
I love that.
Go for it.
I love that.
Go for it.
So crucial. And
it is. It's really
honestly,
crucial.
and guys, just as a quick kind of ending point too, I know he's saying that, and I want you guys to really understand and digest it, because this man is truly a living testament of what he's saying. You know, really did take a chance on himself to switch his entire life and career and direction, and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do this for me." And you know, you guys can go see for yourselves the result of that. And so it should be an inspiration for you guys to not just hear it, but to actually apply it, because we have proof sitting here right on the show that if you do that, shit can happen, man.
Yeah, and
shit can happen.
with that, we'll end on a ba ba ba. Love you guys.
Fuck yeah.
Love
Thank
you,
you guys, dude. Thank you so much for coming on the show, my guy.
Absolutely,
I'm
dog.
so excited I got to see you and we got to fucking hang out. But that is gonna do it, guys. Episode number 26. What the fuck? Of the 7 on 7 podcast. I love you guys. We will be back again probably 2 or 3 more times this week. But until the meantime, yes, sir. That's going to do it, my boy Jake. Thank you so much.
Love you
Love
guys.
you, bro. We'll see you guys soon.